Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Well, this is not the Weekend Podcast with Frank Skinner, Alan Cochrane and Emily Dean. That, ladies and gentlemen, comprises our dramatis personae for this podcast. Relax. Enjoy yourselves. I know you might be on public transport, you might be on a bicycle, you might be wandering down the street, you might be sitting at home at your laptop.
We get a lot of commuters.
Did I tell you that a few people have told me that they listen to podcasts on their iPhone on ×2? Have I told you that? Did I mention this?
We speed it up.
Speed it up. People listen. People are so busy now. They're listening to us speed it up. I imagine I sound normal.
I'm finding it disconcerting talking to you.
Yes.
Can I tell you why? Because your headphones have Eloise's sort of taped across the side.
Oh, well, I hope she's not listening now.
You should say Eloise's. They're not things. There's a sticker that says Eloise's with an apostrophe S at the end.
Yeah.
Suggesting that Eloise doesn't like them being worn by other people.
She's mastered the possessive apostrophe.
She has. She's not only mastered it, but she's used it as a weapon.
Oh, God. Well, all the other headphones stink, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, we've had a...
it's very sensitive to the smell of earwax. It's a rare thing. You never hear people say, God, your ears stink.
We've had a missive from the outside world titled Frank's Witty Comebacks.
Well, I like the sound of it so far. This is going to be a long one. I might...
Settle around the fireside, children.
Yeah, exactly. I might get myself a cocoa.
Hi, Frank and team. I just wanted to drop you a line to say thanks for saving my dignity in an altercation with my 10-year-old son this evening.
Dignitas?
Just give him a dead leg. There was an advert.
Dignitas would give him a dead leg.
It would, yeah. Is it hemlock that works its way from the legs?
Could you go to Dignitas and say, can I just get a dead leg?
One leg, please.
Can you give me a price? Give me a price.
You
for
might
a
get a
dead
knockdown price for that.
I did the other one in 5-a-side and I just want to even it up.
Yeah, or could I go to Dignitas and say, I'm not sleeping very well. Give us a price for like 8 hours.
If Dignitas start to undercut Nitol, then they're in trouble there.
I mean, do they only sell in bulk?
There was an advert for the new Avengers film on TV, and I enthused that we should go and see it together. Now, already he's a different sort of father from I am.
Oh.
No, you're a dork, was the reply I was given.
Oh my God.
I was a little shocked and more than a little upset and could only think to reply, you are.
Excellent.
Cheers, Frank. Dignity intact, I am sure you will agree. Chris in Southport, prisoner 350.
Well done, Chris.
Is that a reference to the Avengers, prisoner 350?
No, that's just a reference to being one of our listeners.
Oh, is it?
I think it's his phone number things, because we call him by
Oh, right, yeah, I know that. I knew that.
Oh, sorry.
I just thought it was a reference to the Avengers. I knew that.
Row, love it. Loving it, the row.
I know that.
I presume we're talking about the Avengers film, the Marvel one. When he says the new Avengers film, aren't we? We're talking about the one with, like, Captain America and...
Oh, maybe.
The Hulk and stuff. I see you're anticipating...
Oh, I was thinking Steed.
You were thinking...
I was going Steed.
And I thought that's why he'd called himself Prisoner.
Yeah.
Why?
Aren't they... I don't know.
No.
I'm out.
Because there was also a 70s TV programme called The Prisoner.
That's
what
it.
you're saying?
Yeah,
was
I've
it
got
60s? I think it was 60s even.
I've got two different
Well, I
things
saw it, so it must
confused.
have been.
Yeah. I bet Chris, though, is Chris thinking when he's getting there, there's going to be Gareth Hunter's Gambit?
Yeah.
Because if so, he's very mistaken.
But Frank, that's your little catchphrase. You are.
And it works. It worked a treat there. And you see, it's timeless.
I get frightened when you say it sometimes.
And I bet, well, if the son is calling him a dork...
10 years old, he slammed him there.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, he's owned the son, is what he's done. Which I've got all this to look forward to, of course, being abused by my own children. Do you think I have to build people to abuse me? No, the Avengers are like, they're a sort of they're a group of superheroes who work together, like the Justice League or Legion of They're a bit like Super Heavy.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Super Heavy?
No, but it sounds a bit carb-based.
No, it's the Mick Jagger super group with Joss Stone and Dave Stewart.
That's right, yeah. Super groups, they're great, aren't they?
What happened to Super Heavy? You can't be Super Heavy if you got Joss Stone.
No.
She's too light.
Well, she doesn't even wear footwear.
She's too
That's
rubbish.
how like she is. She's not too rubbish.
Oh, my God.
You weren't
my
involved
days.
in that plot.
You
I
are.
hope. Yeah, very good.
Frank.
Excellent.
Did you see, there's this extraordinary, I'm calling it a bucket list. It was 50 things to do before you're 12.
It's early for a bucket
That's
list.
a bit pessimistic bucket list.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
You should have seen my childhood, darling.
You should have seen a bucket featured very strongly in my childhood, but it was in the corner of the bedroom. It's a different thing altogether.
So what this is, it's the National Trust. Love the National Trust. Marvellous organisation.
Do you?
No, but my parents used to say that when I was a kid, so I'm
did they?
quoting them. But they've compiled a list of 50 things that children should do, ideally, before they reach the age of 12.
And is it things like go to William
premiere.
Wordsworth's birthplace and pay full price?
It's to encourage children to get very good.
To buy lots of erasers at Chatsworth House.
It's to stop them spending so much time in front of a computer screen.
Well, that's a
the
noble.
idea.
That's a noble
Yeah.
aim. So it's to get kids outdoors, isn't it?
So this list has everything. It has climbing a tree, building a den.
Oh, God, we built a lot of dens. That was our summer holidays.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Oh, God, we built... This, of course, this was in the 60s and 70s when house building was at a premium. But we could knock up a den in an hour and just sit in it.
Yeah. A lot of sitting about in dens.
Oh, it's
It's
Right.
also got flying a kite. I only did that once, but that was in character for a TV drama.
Oh, really?
Yes. I played child with the kite.
Ah.
I had a character's name, Amy. It was a play for today. But
Brilliant.
I've never actually flown one in real life out of character.
Is that
as soon
right?
as they said cut, I dropped that thing.
Well, I have to say, I didn't fly one before I was 11 3/4, but I did. I discovered kite flying in adult life. A friend of mine lived in Bishop's Cleeve, in the Cheltenham area, and he had a sort of cottage in the middle of some land. And he had one of these with like a two-hander kite, so you could make it swoop.
Oh, like you'd see in
and dive.
in Brighton.
And it was. What do you mean?
I'm saying that.
Okay.
That got quite aggressive, that
Yeah,
exchange.
exactly.
Slightly withering.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you're getting at about the kite. It's perfectly ordinary, Anyway, so I thought I loved it. I'd missed out on my childhood. I loved flying the kite. I loved that feel of the strength of the wind against your hands. It was brilliant. And it was one of those things where I made up my mind I was going to do it on a regular basis, and then I never, ever did it again.
Like hula hooping.
Yeah, or hosting the Brits.
Don't mention the Brits, for God's sake.
No, but I did. I thought, I love this so much. I'm going to fly kites on every weekend. Never touched another one. But it was brilliant.
Really?
Well, Frank, also on the list, I bet you did do this, calling an owl. Now, our Terry, if I remember correctly, our Terry actually was an owl keeper.
Well, we had an owl on top of the wardrobe. Yes, but I didn't have to call it. It was there. Do they mean sort of going...
But you don't get owls in the built-up urban
Oh,
areas, do you?
No, that was it. See, when we had an owl on the wardrobe, it used to squawk at night, and we used to get other owls.
You didn't really have an owl.
Yeah.
Fly around the bed. Where did it do
No,
its
it was in a
doo-doo?
cage. It was in a...
We've covered this before.
Yeah,
I know,
we
but
have.
I am quite
I remember
obsessed by
thinking it was like a weird Hogwarts fantasy book.
No, it is true.
had
It was in what I would call a very snog cage. A cage where a chaffinch might have thought, I wouldn't mind another square foot in here.
Can I just say that, that noise that you just made, that you do with your hands, I hadn't heard that done for perhaps 30 years until the other night. I was on my way to the Comedy Store in Leicester Square, and a young man in the street was beckoning somebody, and he went, "Hey!" I was thinking, how bad at whistling and shouting do you have to be that you try the owl sound as louder than just shouting, "Hey!"
But I can't do the proper owl. There is a really good owl that some people can do. And I can't do that. But mine, I have to
still
say,
do it.
my previous attempt, I realise now, in hindsight, was wood pigeon.
Oh, yeah. But I can do the whistle through the fingers, so I would have just...
Can you?
Yeah,
Come back
just-
juggling, all is forgiven.
I've never been able to do the whistle through the fingers.
Yeah, I think
the 2 fingers in the mouth thing.
I can do that, yeah.
I don't want to talk about owls anymore.
Well, you brought them up.
These are the things you should have done before you were 11 and
It's too much
3/4.
owls.
Owls don't. That's not how owls do it. You don't see the owl, the talon go up to the mouth. I'll cover this, Steve.
Steve, the owl. I bet Terry did call his owl Steve.
I don't think he ever named it, actually.
Oh.
I think I climbed a tree once.
Did you? I couldn't because I wore a lot of knickerbockers.
Why once? What?
I wasn't, I can remember trees being quite hard.
They're quite high.
They are high. I was once in a tree and another boy jumped out of it and landed with his arms sort of bent and broken both. So there, I mean, I'm surprised that the
Is that on the list? Break both arms.
I don't think it's on the list, break both arms, but climb a tree is on there, and, these are the
Boys,
things
could
that
you
can
enlighten me? Make a grass trumpet. That doesn't sound appropriate for 12-year-olds.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
What is it?
You hold a blade of grass.
You know this?
Yeah, between your fingers, and you blow.
Oh, it's not more owl sound.
No, it's more of a sort of. It's like that. You never did that.
I did that, but I didn't ever call it a grass trumpet.
No.
And it sounds even worse when I say it, doesn't it?
No, I called it a dog urine harmonica, which is usually what was the scent was on the grass. I don't think there was a blade of grass in the West Midlands in the 70s that hadn't got dog urine on it. And if there was, it was an oversight. Why did he go quiet then?
Quite
Stop
a lot
it.
of them are dangerous.
Bury someone in the sand. That's not an
No,
instruction.
that's not a good thing to encourage
I
kids
think that
to
always
do.
ends in tears. I don't think that's a good idea.
Look at that time on Brookside
Oh, yeah.
with Beth.
Patio.
Yeah.
Yeah, under the patio. What was she called? Beth Batch or something?
Jordache.
Jordache.
Trevor
yeah.
Jordache.
Oh, she was lovely in those days.
But I didn't have much of a... This may surprise you, but it wasn't a particularly outdoorsy childhood.
Oh, really?
You're indoors making cocktails, weren't you?
Well, I spent 15 years of my childhood trapped in a flat pack wardrobe. It was a
Smoked
mix
a lot, though, didn't you?
Oh,
You did
God.
a lot of smoking in there.
I smoked tea as a child now and again. That used to be a thing that kids did then. I put tea in a pipe, dry
We
tea
did that.
leaves.
We put avocado
No.
leaves in a...
Avocado leaves?
Avocado leaves?
We did!
Where did you get avocado? Was that when you lived in Australia?
Look, we'd heard a rumour. Well, I wasn't that young. Someone had said if you should smoke avocado leaves. So we did that. It was from a little avocado. Well, I say avocado leaves. Someone had planted an avocado stone. And that's where we got the leaves from.
Avocado stone become a... Wow.
Apparently.
Who knew?
Yeah. Avocado Stone, of course, is the less talented sister of Josto. And she's pretty, but sings like a corn crake. One of the things on the list I noticed was use a map and compass to find your way.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very sort of 1950s thing for a child to do, isn't it? You can't imagine. I mean, you get a compass on your iPhone.
Yeah,
now.
use an app and
Yeah.
compass.
But it reminded me, and this is a bit of a walk down memory lane, and I've got the footwear to make that walk in. Do you recall a pair of shoes called Wayfinders?
Wayfinders. Yeah.
No, but
like-
they sound like that's an attempt to rip off a better brand or something.
Well,
Oh,
what,
right.
like things
Like
like...
the original would have been called Wayfarer.
Yeah, like things like American-style chicken, you mean? Those kind of...
Dixie Pride
like-
Cottage. Yeah.
Exactly.
Are they the shoe with a compass in
Yeah,
the
they had a
heel?
compass in the heel.
Oh, yeah.
Did they?
And they also had animal tracks on the soles.
Yeah.
Oh.
With the name. So you could, if you found an animal track, which of course I never did ever, unless occasionally you get a dog foot in cement.
You do.
No, but you know when you used to get cement round, if
That's
anything...
how you know you're growing up in an
Never got
urban
cement
area.
round.
You know, when people put anything in and they had cement as a basis for it, it was like every dog in the area. News used to go around. Rover, there's wet cement on Landswood Road. I'll be right there. There's always used to be dog footprints in it after. They couldn't resist it. Anyway, so you'd press the sole of your shoe down, and then you'd be able to compare the tracks on your shoe. It'd say like fox or badger or whatever, and you'd be able to compare that with the real one and work out what you'd missed. Basically.
And then you get cracking with the grass trumpet.
Yeah, exactly.
I love stuff like that, though. Things that are sold to children that are sort of slightly boys' own adventure type stuff. It's kind of nice, isn't it?
It is. I mean, they died out a long time. I never owned a pair. I think Colin Washbrook had a pair.
Did he? I thought he would.
Yeah, he had a pair.
Very him.
I had a book called something like How to Be a Secret Agent that was full of, like, kids' versions of, like, having a compass in your heel and knowing how to get home. And putting a hair over the door and stuff like that.
All that.
I loved it. Loved it.
Used to be a brilliant... used to be a thing about putting polythene over a hole in the ground with a bucket underneath and put soil in it and the perspiration, whatever it's called. What's those when you get globules of water?
Condensation.
Would drip down and drip into the bucket, and you got a nice drink the next morning.
Yeah.
Nice drink.
Yeah. Didn't come in that handy, West Bromwich, but if I'd been in a true will. One thing that's not on the list is throwing bricks at windows, which is something I remember doing a lot of. I mean, if you used to have that moment when a factory closed down and there'd be like 50 windows in it, and the kids would be queuing up throw bricks.
To throw the bricks.
And you'd get the ones that gone in early that just took the paint out. By the time we got there, you're basically removing the potty. By the time there was
doing them a favour.
Just a little bit in the corner. But oh man, I used to.
Frank, I've got another. I'd like to. What about get an equity card? That should be on there as well.
Is that not on there?
It's not on there.
It's not there.
I can't believe that. There's almost no cruelty to frogs on there.
Yes, there is. Find some frog spawn.
Yeah, but not put a matchstick through its head, which is a sort of thing.
No, but that's stealing them. That's kidnapping, finding frog spawn, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, quite right.
There
were some kids who used to do those. I used to go with this one kid, and he used to do cruel
animal
things.
Cruelty.
Yeah,
no,
and I used to. Not exactly join in, but I'd sort of want to be a part of the gang, and then I used to go home and cry. I used to go home and cry about the frog.
Because you'd enabled it, really.
I was one of those people in Nazi Germany who didn't say anything.
I don't like animal cruelty, but I don't like to admit to it, because I worry that Hitler and serial killers also don't like animal cruelty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they do. They love it.
Oh, do they? No, I think they're sentimental about it. Blondie.
Hitler was very keen on the old animals, wasn't he? Strict vegetarian and all that, you know.
He was, take it from me, he was a nutter.
Is that the definitive word on adult?
He's a nutter. I've read up about him. Nutter.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, Frank and Alan, I know you love a bit of Delolio news, don't you?
What's happened?
Nancy.
Oh, that.
She's been up for
all
Lawrence. That's Delalio. Let's call the whole.
She's got some unconventional beauty tips this time round.
Well, she is. So.
Yes. Well, she told the ladies on Loose Women she loves a loose women appearance.
Yes,
with the gals.
She was born for loose women.
She was. She said she sleeps with her makeup on, and her exact words were, "Sometimes it saves a lot of time if you sleep with makeup." I'd like you to do it in your voice, please, Frank.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes it saves a lot of time if you sleep with makeup. Does she mean the department?
Yeah.
You know, the young men who work in makeup.
Saves all the small talk.
Yeah.
And handy in the morning, because they can just work on you like a big pit stop.
Like giving a Ford Escort a respray. She says you should go to bed with it, because... Then, still talking about the makeup, by the way.
Yes.
And she says then, when you wake up, you just give it a light spray with water, and it stays in place, apparently. Janet Street Porter was aghast. I've never seen her so aghast. She looked so shocked.
Really?
Where does the spraying with... What does that do?
Yeah,
it sets it. So sometimes, on a night out, if I'm going out, I'll do my makeup pre-bath, because the condensation will set it.
Really?
The humidity.
Do you think Leicester Fire Services have ever had a phone call from Nancy Delolio saying, "Can you just come and give me a quick spray down?" I've never heard of that. What a helpful tip that is.
Could I, if don't take this the wrong way.
No.
Do you never get out?
I've already taken it the wrong way.
You
No,
never
no.
get out of said bath feeling like you've still got a dirty face because you got in it with an unclean face, as it were.
The point of the bath is not for you
not
do
for
it to
the fish.
scrub away all sorts of crevices. I do it as a luxuriant experience.
Me too.
No, you don't.
I don't.
I like a book in a bath.
Do you?
Yep.
Frank approaches showers and baths like a sort of inmate, don't you?
Yeah.
And I've got a bath shelf now.
I clean everything in the same order every time, rigorously,
does.
and then I get out. I never wallow.
No, I know
never.
his order.
Yeah, well,
know
let's not
his
go into that. I have talked about my order.
Have you got it like on a laminated sheet next to the bath?
I did initially. I've memorised it now. That's how you learn, by repetition.
It is, yeah.
No, I knew a woman called Pam, who I used to work with when I worked in a factory, and she told me on one occasion, that her husband, and she'd been married about 10 or so years, her husband had never seen her without makeup.
Yeah, I find that odd.
And she used to
Yes.
sleep in makeup, then
Did
she used to
she?
get up in the morning, go off into the bathroom, do it all up, and then come out again.
No, you see, I have to say, I do love makeup. As you know, I have an entire room devoted to it. However, I'm afraid I will take my makeup off every night, and I won't. I have a very strict skincare regime, and I'm
you?
not putting it on hold for any shenanigans. What?
Really?
Yeah,
So if you went back with a handsome young man, let's just say that happened.
I do my 3 stages.
What are they?
I haven't got time to go through it all.
But you
We've got
wouldn't
all the
say,
time in
oh,
the
then
world
I'm just
to
going to remove my makeup, would you?
I might do, yes. It depends.
dear.
No, not on date one,
I hope
not
you've
on the
got
first occasion. But a few, I
You got a
think,
bookcase in the bedroom?
fairly early on.
Magazines.
like a waiting room.
Exactly. Oh,
Oh,
no.
I feel like I'm on Chris Moyle's show, boys.
I love a bit of that, though. I love lipstick on a coffee mug the next morning, and a bit of. I mean, I have been known to have to leave makeup on the pillow.
Oh, yes, when you've been performing.
Yeah. No, it wasn't mine. It was toenail varnish. No, it wasn't. It was, yes, because I have to say this, and this is how television has declined. When I first started doing television, used to come off stage and the makeup women would be waiting in there with cleanser, moisturiser and all that, and they'd do it up and it'd be lovely. Sometimes now I finish a television show, I go to the makeup room, everyone's gone home, so I didn't want to hang around. And on the side, on the work surface, is 2 slightly drying wet wipes
Yes.
waiting for me to do my own business. Can you imagine it?
They don't do it for you.
God, they've gone.
Oh, my God. Standards have slipped.
When that happens,
insight there.
on the few times I appear on television, if that happens, I just assume that they're trying to save themselves about an hour and a half's work because of the size of my face. There's sort of a 2-person job with them, doing half each.
You haven't got a big
I think I've got a big head.
Have you? No.
I think so. I think I've got a big old head here.
What about when AA killed us television?
Does it?
It's like the Fourth Bridge. By the time you get back round to the forehead, you have to start again.
Although sadly they've fixed that now, haven't they? So you can't use that as the cliched reference for never-ending work anymore.
Well, I already have.
But they've fixed it. They've
I
developed
already
a
have,
new
because
paint.
I think the news is a bit like the Fourth Bridge.
Yes.
By the time the news filters through, it'll be time to...
That's true, yeah.
there you go.
They're not going to need to do it for 20 years. Did you know that?
But there's latest Fourth Bridge news. On Absolute Radio.
I love those updates.
I think they
we should
cleaned
get
it
a
with
jingle.
Pineapple Crush.
Yeah, I think they do.
What?
Yes. So basically, Frank, I just feel if someone's lucky enough to get you back there, they get what they get. I think they've got to see you. I mean, yeah, what I'm saying, it's hard to put this delicately. I'm not saying I get back there and immediately take it off.
No.
What I might suggest is at some point in the evening, I might take it off, if you know what I mean.
Right. After they've gone to sleep.
No. Well, no, they don't have to have gone to sleep. I'm just saying that perhaps... Oh, no, I can't say it's too rude.
No, you better not say it. Because, yes, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, once they've got the goat head on, doesn't really remember what they're wearing underneath. And once my mask is fully zipped, can I play you something that'll take you back? Something I used to play on the show quite often. Listen. Foreign object in food. Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, I love that.
Not done that so much.
There's actually been a foreign object in food story in the papers this week, and I love them. I'd say that there has been a slight... Because they used to be, like, I'd say bi-weekly.
Yes.
But there haven't been that many just lately. I don't know if standards are rising. I hope not.
Yeah.
Because I look forward to those stories.
Well, this week there's been a filthy dishcloth
Yes.
in a beef and onion pie.
Imagine sitting to eat a beef and onion pie and there's a filthy dishcloth in it.
It happened in Milton Keynes.
What's happened there is that person has bought a pie-eating kit, which includes a pie and then cleaning up things afterwards. Everything is there.
I think if they'd looked further, there'd be cutlery in the back.
It's like Matey. Do you remember Matey, that bath?
The bubble bath?
Yeah. That cleaned the bath as well.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that was the song.
That was the USP.
Yeah. It's like that. So you finish your pie, and then you're able to dab your mouth with the attendant dishcloth.
With the filthy dishcloth.
Yeah.
Well, the wife...
Say filthy. Be fair on the dishcloth. It has been in a pie.
Exactly.
No, they described it. I say they, that's the Daily Mail. Also, the wife, Vicky, who served up this offending pie, she said it wasn't even clean. It had stains all over it.
The dishcloth.
But don't cook it, love.
She probably means non-pie stains, though.
Oh, how could she? What is she? She's got a forensics team at home. She has no idea.
I would have welcomed it.
How big was this pie that it held a dishcloth? Are you sure she didn't just buy a novelty dishcloth holder accidentally, pie-shaped? And this poor husband has been duped by her foolishness. It's a dishcloth. It's not a tea towel, is it? It's like one of those little...
Like a J-cloth.
Those things that always have that strange stitching around the edges.
Oh, it's that sort of dishcloth.
You know when people who've been in prison come to your door selling stuff? You ever had that?
Yes, I have had that.
Yeah, well, they often sell those kind of dishcloths.
Looking a bit shifty.
Yeah. I'm not thinking J-cloth. I think that's...
Oh, okay.
Or
sorry, I got the style of the cloth wrong.
Jessie J cloth, I think, is what Jessie J is now. That's their new sponsorship deal. Well, she's always looking to make cash.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
Money.
Apparently on tonight's, or on next Saturday's The Voice, at one point she pulls a string and a very uniform fringe opens. And there's an advert for vitamin water on her forehead. I'm looking forward to that. So, I tell you what spoils this story for me is the beef and onion pie element.
Right.
Because I've always thought it's such a cop-out, beef and onion.
What?
Oh, don't talk to me about onion. That made me wretch.
Yeah,
I'd rather dishcloth.
Steak and kidney is the proper pie, isn't it?
Right.
And I think
chicken and mushroom.
some people they're anti-offal.
I'm not really pro-kidney particularly.
No, I'm not.
What people don't like is occasionally you'll bite into a steak and kidney pie and the kidney can look a bit green.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But I like that. I think that's...
you would.
It's like opening Pandora's box. Yeah, you think, I'm going to... there's a Russian roulette element here. Could this be the killer kidney?
Well, that's why I felt for the bloke, because the wife that served it up said, this has put him off pie forever. I was thinking,
I can't believe that.
I can't believe... I bet he's already had 3 since that.
I bet he has.
Definitely.
And slightly disappointed that there's no dishcloth in one element. I think, to be fair, they were given a £20 voucher.
Oh.
And then 50. I think they turned down the 20. And
it's like, we don't want to give you that.
Yeah. Well, they said it's an offence, a £20 voucher. And then they went, oh, yeah, you're right. There shouldn't be a dishcloth in your pie. Have £50.
That's good, though. When I found a maggot in my soup, I only got £2.50 in vouchers.
Did you? How long ago was that?
It was a Scottish company.
Well, I was in a cafe, I'll call it, in Halesowen in the West Midlands, and there was a spider in my spider in my salad, and I said, excuse me, there's a spider in my salad, and this guy went, hold on, and carefully picked it out. And then he went, hold on, there's one leg left. And he took that out, and then he went. That was it. And I ate it.
It's a good job you weren't a vegetarian, really, isn't it?
Yes.
There's another bit of leg you don't want. Animal protein, do you?
Who's going to argue about the leg? I like a bit of leg, though. That's my favourite bit.
Spider's leg.
It was a harvestman spider. I don't like the raisin. You know, the raisin body. I like a leg.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.